All right. Well, now, Alan, we're going to make your life a little easier. We're going to lower the lights
I can go home?
Yeah. Now, Alan.
This is unfair. Alan gets a girl. I've got Jack.
I'm going to ask Alan...
girl.
Steady, steady. I'm going to ask Alan a very specific question now. Can you feel your sphincter relaxing? It's a perfectly innocent question.
I must say, I thought it was until you asked me.
Well, what you might have said is, which sphincter?
Oh, of course. Oh.
Because you may not know this, but you have many sphincters.
Oh, I know
Yes.
I know a thing or two about sphincters.
Tell me about sphincters.
I once had, this may not be an appropriate story,
Oh, I certainly hope
QI, but
not.
I once had a bladder complaint. This is not STI, it was just I was getting up in the middle
Why are
of
you
the night to
looking at
pee.
me when you say that?
I thought you would understand. If you go to the doctor, sometimes they say, well, look, we're going to pop a camera in, we're going to have an explore. And it was in my bladder. There was a bit of an issue in my bladder. So they decided to get a camera and just pop it in my bladder. And obviously the easiest way to get in is through
the schlong.
Is through the schlong. And I imagined the camera would be like the width of a human hair. It was like a pen.
Oh!
And they fed it in, and it was about 10 years ago I had this.
Right,
and it was about 10 years ago, and it was a lovely nurse that was doing the procedure. And as she sort of fed it, she went, "What do you do for a living?" She was trying to start conversation at this awkward moment in a man's life. She went, "What do you do for a living?" And I went, "I'm a comedian." And she went, "Tell us a joke." And it is a matter of professional pride that I did.
Oh, well done. There's a claim to the origin of the term lynch, which is a man called James Lynch Fitzstephen, who was the mayor of Galway in Ireland. And he hanged his own son from the balcony of his house after convicting him of the murder of a Spanish visitor in 1493. Wow. So that's pretty bold, isn't it?
Wow. It's on a bike.
It's extreme. He learned his lesson. He never did it again. No.
Did you say hang his own phone for stealing a bike?
No.
No.
What did you think I said?
I misheard you because I'm so hungry. I don't know why I can't concentrate when I'm hungry.
Killing a Spaniard.
For killing a Spanish visitor, yes, Spaniard. He killed...
Do you not listen to...
No, he doesn't.
No, I'm starving hungry.
Are you?
And now I can't concentrate because I'm having a blood sugar crash.
I hope I never get called up for jury service and you're hungry in the afternoon. What was it, kill a Spaniard or stole a bike?
It's quite an important difference.
Starving. Can I get an apple?
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Stole a bike.
Your mind was
Drifting
wandering...
up, I was thinking about pasta.
When his brain sugar drops, I'm afraid all kinds of weird things start to happen.
Well, has no one got something to eat here? Can we not...
Are you bringing something down?
There you go, come on.
Thank you very much.
What's that?
Some homemade flapjack.
Oh, flapjack.
I
Oh, thank you. Yeah, go on.
do. Oh, she had them kids. Very good. I've got something interesting to show you now, so I want you to tell me what it is, quite simply. What's the name for one of those?
Well, it's
Yes,
a Toby
yes.
jug, isn't it?
No, this is known as a character jug.
Oh.
If you want to know what a Toby jug looks like, it's that. Toby jug is the whole person.
Isn't that pretty?
If it's a head, it's called a character jug. But I've got something more interesting, I think, which I hope you're going to like. It's got water in it. All you have to do is drink the water without spilling it. It's got holes in it, so if you lift it to... Right. It's got holes in it, so if that's not going to work... Do you see? No, you've got the wrong idea.
Just cover up.
So you've got to try and
Right, I'm
work
going
it
to hollow
out.
out this biro.
All
Use it
right.
as a straw.
Like that.
I'm evolving.
Ah, you're getting there, you're getting there. So what are you doing? But no, don't pour it, because the water will come up. Look at the handle. The handle is connected to the bottom, so if you could suck
got it.
one of those tubes, cover the holes,
The other hole.
and then suck through there. But there's a secret hole
Hole
you've
there.
got to cover too.
Get those two.
Look under. No, look under the handle. Look under the top of the handle.
Oh,
It's like a
that's
fruit
there.
stop. If you cover that and the other two holes, then you can. Then,
Bit of a palaver.
there, yes.
Do they not just
Just an electrical hazard.
So like
waiting-
this?
Someone well, just
Now, that's it. Now you can suck it. It's pure, just don't tip it.
Oh, bollocks.
So you yes, jizz, as you knew as a bird spotter, is that indefinable something, the shape, the gait, the outline that allows you to identify a bird. But we have the 4 birds we showed you.
You're going to say we have some jizz. No. We have some birds you can identify here by their jizz.
We literally do. We literally do.
Oh, look.
Yeah, they all begin with J. That's your clue.
I'm going to say that's a jayhawk.
No, that's not a hawk, is it? Look at it. I mean...
What do you say?
How is that a hawk?
That is a hawk.
down and picking up a rabbit?
That's not. That is to scale, Bill. That's the size of it.
right. Oh, it's a long way off.
Have you
It's
seen
massive.
a hawk's beak, an eye?
A hawk's, but yes, it's
A
not
hawk's
a common
got a...
hawk.
It's a raptor. That's not a raptor, that's a flipping flycatcher or something.
You are very good. It's a flycatcher.
It's a flycatcher,
He's
there you go.
good.
Yeah,
He's
yes,
good.
Well, yeah, don't mess with the jizzmeister.
I was second on that.
No, you weren't.
I came
You weren't
second.
rubbish.
Rubbish. A hawk?
You just mentioned the type of bird.
Right,
That's
okay,
not
well,
coming
stick up the
second.
next one. I'm pretty sure
That
I've
is
got
just...
In medieval times, they go out with them on a gauntlet.
That is
Just-
Fly!
That is called a
Just-
blacktail.
Bring me a fly.
Just to finish it, that was a flycatcher. It was a Juan Fernandez tit tyrant.
God, here we go again.
Wait a minute.
Tyrant,
A Juan Fernandez tit tyrant.
Crested, spotty-chested member of the Tyrant Flycatcher
A
Company.
spotty-chested member.
Yeah.
There are points for knowing where the
This is
Juan
some-
Fernandez Islands are.
Juan Fernandez.
Breastcock Lane?
You are getting into this very much. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and create something that will make you think, no, Stephen, this is not possible. Stephen, I will now bow down and worship you forever. I'm going to try and create a square bubble. No. Shut up, Stephen.
I'm on the verge of worshipping you forever.
Yeah, exactly. How would you not be? A square bubble.
Shut the
all right.
front door.
So I've got this. I've got this here. Can you see that bubble there? Oh, but it's not yet square. But if I blow,
No way.
square bubble. Oh, square bubble. How amazing is that?
Very cool.
On television, virtually live, as we say. It's probably the only interesting and important thing I've ever done in my life. But I'm proud, and thank you for enjoying my square bubble. You can try this pen. Try writing something with a pen.
Oh, this is going to be hilarious.
Oh, dear.
I'm really sorry, because that is quite a severe electric shock. It's not...
Take your word for it.
It's not insignificant, that one. That is barely a joke.
Not funny at all, Stephen.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll give it back to you.
Really hurt.
A bendy pencil.
I don't want the bendy pencil.
Have you ever seen an inside-out moon?
Clangers.
Hello, baby clanger. As the soup.
They didn't make that noise.
No, Bill, do it.
They-
Bill,
they
listen
were
to
like
Bill.
Yeah, but Soup Dragon.
Are you doing the soup
Yeah,
dragon?
I'm doing the Soup Dragon.
Oh, right.
The soup dragon wasn't like that. The soup
He did
dragon
a
was all...
gurgle.
I have to say, in all honesty, as an impartial judge, Bill wins the clanger impression.
Do you hear about the chap, the auctioneer, summoned to the big Scottish castle? This is not a joke, by the way.
Yeah.
But he was summoned to a big Scottish castle. The lord had just died and their family was selling off all the contents. And he was looking around, trying to find this hat stand, which he couldn't. And then finally he came across it, and it was a German soldier. And what had happened was that the lord, or his ancestors, had been in the First World War with his Batman, who it was always supposed was a little more than his Batman.
Right.
Who had looked over the trench to see if it was all right and was shot by the Germans on the other side. And this enraged the Scottish chap so much, he ran across no man's land, killed the German, dragged him back to the British trenches, sent him home with instructions he'd be stuffed and used as a hat stand for the rest of time. But only 80 years had elapsed, so it was as though his ancestors would still be around in Germany, and they would come and they had to go find them and say, "Oh, did he have a dignified death?" Not really, no.
I had two fellas come into my flat once. They must have been first-time burglars, and I was a first-time burglary or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was sort of coming down the stairs. Yeah, that's it. I was coming halfway down the stairs. I was in my boxer shorts, and they were sort of at the bottom of the stairs in masks. And there was a point where I thought, oh my God, I'm dead. Like, this is it, I'm dead. And they panicked.
Yes.
I don't know why, because I'm not a scary-looking bloke. And after there was a bit of silence, and then one of them went, "Can we borrow some milk?" Like.
Were they three cats?
Well, it is often the case that the criminal is more scared. You know, it's a scary thing to do as a child, I suppose.
There's a friend of mine saw a mugging in Central Park in New York, and he started running after the mugger. And then he realised, he thought, what am I going to do? And this mugger turned round. So he turned round and started running after him. And he just shouted out, "I'm a marathon runner, I'm going to keep my distance from you. Whatever you do." And just kept running backwards and forwards like that. And at the end, the guy dropped the bag and ran off because he just didn't know. They were just like toing and froing like that. And he just maintained a constant distance from them.
I remember getting mugged, and I was 16, 17, I get mugged, and the guy said, "Give us your money or we'll beat you up." And I remember thinking, out of the two options, I'm not bothered about this 20 quid. I gave him the money, and then he beat me up. He still beat me up. And I remember afterwards being more upset by that sort of breach of verbal contract. And we'd entered into an agreement, didn't we?
Yeah.
An gentleman's agreement. Yeah, I was like, fair enough. Oh,
There is no stronger, hotter smart that you feel as a child in particular than injustice, is there? Injustice is a horrible thing, and that was unjust.
There's the bridge, and you're about to see a superhero, a man of astounding courage and bravery, do a bungee jump off the original A.J. Hackett Bridge. There he is. Can you see him there? He's fat. It's me! There I am. That was me bungee jumping just earlier this year, in fact.
Goodness me.
And do you know, the weird thing is, I am the biggest coward in the world. The moment I was picked up by the relief boat that picked you up, I said, "I want to do it again." The adrenaline surge is so enormous. It is the biggest fun I've ever had.
And does it pull at your ankles?
Well, the major problem usually is detached retinas, actually.
Yes.
People get pop-eyed.
What about when we went scuba diving and your mask was too tight?
Yeah, I don't
His eyes nearly came out of his head. He was inside the mask. And his massive eyes. We're all going, look at Bill. Check he's all right, check he's all right. And when we found out it was all right, I laughed.
No, can I just... Wait. Well, rewind. Can we just go back to the bit where you said, when you checked we were all right, you were laughing my head. You were laughing from the minute my face came out of the water. There was blood. There was blood pouring out my eyes.
You had no idea? You had no idea?
I had no idea. I was
Couldn't
going,
feel
what?
anything.
People were going, "Oh my God! Oh my God!" I went, what? Like Carrie or something with blood streaming from my eyes.
You get eyeballs. It took quite a long time for them to recede as well.
Yes, it did. And a lot of laughing was going on.
I thought you had some sort of magnifying mask on, but when he took the mask off, they were still enormous.
Enormous.
Well,
when we lived in Australia, my wife bought a horse, and she's desperate to try and get me to ride, right? So she said, I bought this horse, it's really docile, you'll be fine. So I got, well, no, there was actually, the problem was it was too docile. What happened was it ended up being studied by Melbourne University because it was one of the few horses that was medically got narcolepsy. So I swear to God, it's one of the rare cases of a narcoleptic horse. So she buys this horse, and she said she couldn't work out why every time when she was grooming it, it would get heavier. Like that. And so she couldn't groom it because it would fall on her. So she says to me, "It's fine. The horse is narcoleptic. Get on it." And so I got on it in full motorbike gear because I wasn't taking any chances. And I sat on this horse, and it started to just... And you know, normally you kick a horse to make it go. This one, he kicked it and it would go, what? Hey? Like that. To wake it up. And sometimes it would fall asleep against the electric fence. So it would go like that. Hey! Hey! It's like Jack Douglas from the Carry On.
There's a man called Theo Jensen, who's an extraordinary artist, inventor, who has created this remarkable machine. Do you know about it?
It walks along.
It walks on the sand without any electronics or anything else like that, just powered by the wind. I mean, it's really extraordinary. These are some of the things it can do. No metallic or electronic parts, remember that. It can detect the tide coming in, walk away from the water, anchor itself by hammering a pin into the ground. That's what it looks like. If the wind gets too strong. It can even store up air in bottles when the wind is blowing and release it to keep itself moving when the wind drops. Lots of clips on YouTube, but you have to go to Holland to see them live on the beach. But through the magic of the next big thing in tech, which is 3D printing, where you can print an object out. This is a 3D printed object. It's entirely 3D printed. It needed no extra thing except to have the propeller put on the end.
Wow.
And this is a version of the Sea Beast. And instead of blowing, I'm going to use a little sort of electric fan, like so. There we go.
Wow.
Oh, Sand Beast.
Isn't that cool?
That's great.
And that was printed out.
Wait,
But isn't that an amazing object?
Wow, it looks really
Come with your
spooky.
glasses.
I can't believe you got that from a 3D printer.
I know.
I sort of feel like this is going to be bluff. That can't be a real thing.
I promise you it's true.
So how does it work? Is it a block of resin? How does it...
It's basically lasers fusing powdered plastic together. Even though they consist of at least 76 separate moving interlocking parts, they emerge from the printer ready to operate without the need for further assembly, with the exception of the addition of the propeller.
No way.
That's absolutely right.
That is the future.
Isn't it amazing? Let's hear it for this amazing machine. Brilliant. Really impressive. Possibly the saddest story of hide and seek that you can think of, although it has a kind of happy ending, is Liu Wei, a Chinese pianist who was playing hide and seek, and he electrocuted himself, and so badly that he lost both his arms. So he learnt to play the piano with his toes.
So he can play and all of his toes work?
All of his toes, they look like fingers. It's actually astonishing. It's really amazing.
Are you sure he just hasn't got his head in the wrong place?
He's got his hands down a pair of trousers. Look at my toes, look at my toes. I take my socks off. Play the piano with my toes, everyone.
He's saying he's a man who can play the piano with his feet. He's a man with a penis that looks like a face.
I have to do a story that's to do with pranks at medical school.
Oh, lovely.
My flatmate, they had a girl in their group at medical school that was very annoying, so they decided to play a trick on her. So basically, they got a hand from the lab and put it on her pillow in the student digs. And then they all hid in the kitchen, and she came in from a night out, went into her room, and they expected that she would just open the door and go, well, like that, and then they would all go in there and point and laugh. And she went in there, and for ages there was just complete silence. And they thought, oh dear, God, what's going on?
Please, God, no, not what I think it
I
is.
hope you're not thinking what I'm thinking, Alan. Please, let's not...
Did she ball it into a fist?
No. Don't.
And then couldn't get it out.
We're all thinking what must be the wrong thing.
No, so they went into the room, and she was sitting on the bed eating it.
Oh, that's even worse!
have to tell you, but that's absolutely true.
Why was she eating it?
Because
She was
I think
hungry.
It freaked, yeah.
What was that? She was hungry. It's like, I'm hungry right now. I'm not eating your hand. Why is that?
I want you all to do a jolly jape now, which is make a dart, a paper dart, and see the person who can throw it the furthest wins.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
That's a piece of
There are various kinds you could do. Just try the type you did at school. And obviously, take your time as quickly as you can.
The thing is, I'm going to make one in the way we used to make them at school, knowing full well that they didn't fly very well.
Well, some people were good at it and some people weren't. Interested to see how well you're doing.
Precision engineering.
Oops, I've made a hat.
I'm going to put little flaps on mine. Is that all right? And a tail.
I just had that idea.
You seem to be... who's... David,
Done this
have a go.
completely
As far
wrong.
as you can go.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Should you throw or should you cast like a bowler?
Ah, well,
is great.
it's up to you.
Look at that.
Yours looks
Yeah, that
great.
looks
Absolutely.
very good.
Incredible.
There you go.
It went up because of the flap.
Yeah, the flaps.
Corrugated
Flaps
roof
gave it
tile.
lift.
Watch out in
It's
the back
one of
row.
those-
This is going to be lethal.
It's one of those stealth ones. You won't be able to see it. You won't be able to measure it.
Yeah.
You can buy it from Wickes. It's got our name on it. Oh! A suicide plane.
That's impossible.
Where's that from?
Defies all laws of
It was
physics.
acrobatics.
Sue, your chance for glory.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, despite the brilliance of Amy Johnson, but would you be surprised to know that the paper aeroplane that goes the furthest looks like this?
Stop.
Yeah, that's a bracelet.
I know, it seems hardly credible.
You just scrunch it up and chuck it.
Unfortunately, not very good at throwing it. I've practiced a bit. But the world record is 200 yards.
No way.
I'm not kidding you.
Straight down.
It's supposed to give it a twist, and that's why I'm not good at it. I've never thrown in American football. That's what you've got to do, is you do it in the style of an American football.
Whoa!
There you go. Not bad. Pretty good, isn't it? Are you a Chitty Chitty Bang Bang fan?
I haven't watched it since I was a child, because I think that's when you're supposed
Those
to
two.
watch it. Yeah.
That's girls. You see, little girls grow up to be women, and little boys grow up to be big little boys.
Yeah, we've
We
just got
still
too
watch
much.
children's
We've got too
films.
much stuff to do.
Do you have children, though?
No.
Ah, well, yes. Well, when you do, then maybe...
No.
You plan not
No.
to?
There's no when, Stephen.
There's no...
No.
You're not going to adopt a little shiny little
A
baby?
shiny one? Are they varnished? Can I varnish one?
I don't know. They might be more attractive if they're shiny. It's not my field,
Then
I don't...
Stephen revealed his plans for a child buffing workshop.
Where craftsmen would get toddlers to a high sheen.
More lacquer, little boy.
You're the shiniest one. We shall put you in Harrod's window.
I'm still alive in here. I'm still alive in here.
Why, I can
Help
see...
me.
I can see my face in your face.
You might have changed my mind. I thought they were very
Yeah,
matte.
it
I
was
had
like
no
a-
idea.
Nice shiny
Thank
little
you for
baby.
that.
I didn't mean that. Although it's slightly put off by the idea of the child buffing. Thank you so much. Now, making hydrogen with nails and drain cleaner would be a very jolly jape indeed, don't you think?
Yes, I think
so. Let's try it.
Yeah.
To prove that it's hydrogen, I'm going to have to set fire to it. And I'm going to have to set fire to it on my own hand. So, first of all, I'm going to have a little basin of water I'm going to put here to dip my hand in, to wet it so I don't burn myself too badly. And then I have my really exciting... Oh, hello. Made a mistake. Sorry, man in my ear. Furious with me.
What's he fucking doing? Put the water down.
Do this properly, or you will die. Do you understand? No. Start again, for fuck's sake! He was much gentler than that. He was very sweet. So, anyway, I've been told to tell you not to try this at home.
Try it at someone else's home.
Yeah, sorry.
The fire exits are there and there.
What I've got here is I've got some ordinary green-coloured washing-up liquid. We're not allowed to mention its name. I've got a little chemical lab, I don't know what you call this, little...
Flask.
Flask, I think is the word.
Oh, this is like going on a picnic with Heston Blumenthal.
It's got some nails in it, going to add a few more, a little bit of zinc. And I've got here, this is the hydrochloric acid, basically.
When are you going to put on the safety goggles, Stephen?
I'm going to put on the safety goggles now, because I'm about to open the bottle of acid.
Put the fucking safety goggles on!
Not only that, but I've also got a mask. Here we go.
Sorry, can I just ask you? You're putting on safety goggles. You're putting on a mask.
You're fine. You're expendable. I may have the mask upside down. It does tell you to put the mask on your children before putting it on yourself, as on an aeroplane.
Get the fucking mask upside down!
Right, OK, I've got the goggles.
Right.
I've got this. Now, what I'm going to do, all right, is I'm going to pour this acid...
Jesus, onto some nails.
Into the nails, that's right.
Why?
And the zinc and the hydrochloric acid will react.
Has he been drinking?
Yeah.
Has he been drinking?
He's been drinking that.
Oh, there we go. And that's going to produce quite a lot.
Oh,
Going towards me!
It's flying away.
I now have to put this... I have to put this cork in it. If I put the cork in it tight enough, it will come out of here. And I put this in here, and it will bubble up. Right, that's important.
You say so.
If the bubbles are made of hydrogen, this is my contention. And the only way to prove it is to grasp the bubbles. I'm going to wet my hand now to be safer. And
Matt,
grasp these bubbles.
The hell is that?
Or I'm going to take the bubbles
It's like a sex
there. I'm going to go. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get even more bubbles.
That is great.
Stephen's goggles are so steamed up, he's completely blind.
Even more bubbles.
He's blind as blind King John of Bohemia.
Oh, come on. Oh, work lighter.
Light.
Oh, the lighter stopped working. Oh! Let's try it again. One more.
Put your hand again, you
Oh, come on. Bloody lighter.
Expelliarmus.
Oh. Phew, that actually hurt.
Wow.
I've made hydrogen, ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
That's very exciting.
Pretty exciting. Let's cover that.
Put the lid on the acid!
The Review Show's next tonight with special guest Billy Connolly. Don't miss it.